boxing-wise, he's going to give Canelo fits. Don't believe he can hurt Canelo. Just believe that Crawford hasn't been in the ring with anybody this powerful.
He just needs to be left unsaid. I understand he's articulating like his point of view, like, look, this is all natural work. We're just working hard at it. We're doing X, Y, Z.
I was wondering, when people say that, oh, Canelo was going down, and he had that there might be an excuse for that. So.
Yes.
Stephen A. Smith recently commented on Canelo Alvarez's noticeably larger frame ahead of his clash with Terence Crawford, questioning how the size disparity might influence the result. Smith acknowledged Crawford as the superior technician in the ring, but cautioned that if he lacks the power to hurt or slow down Canelo, it could become a major problem. His remarks emphasized growing concerns over the physical difference and how it might affect this highly anticipated showdown.
But I think my initial reaction would be to say that I think that Crawford would be the superior boxer, as great as Canelo is, as seasoned as he is with 65 fights, if I recall on his record. I think boxing-wise, he's going to give Canelo fits. Don't believe he can hurt Canelo. Just believe that Crawford hasn't been in the ring with anybody this powerful. Again, Crawford is the superior boxer. But if he can't hurt Canelo, he can't keep him off him. He says it's a legacy fight. He believes he can do the same, and he wants to do the same against a fighter the caliber of Canelo Alvarez, which is why we haven't really seen him in the ring against anybody else. Fortunately, that's the business of boxing. He's a victim of it, not a...
Eddie Reynoso, the highly regarded trainer of Canelo Alvarez, has spoken out about long-standing allegations linking him to performance-enhancing substances in boxing. Over the years, critics have accused Reynoso of either providing or permitting banned substances within his camp. Claims he has consistently denied. Reynoso clarified that his fighters, including Canelo, are responsible for managing their own nutrition and dietary choices, stressing that he does not control or interfere with what they consume, with speculation often intensifying when a fighter's physique or performance shows noticeable improvement. Reynoso emphasized that his sole focus is on refining strategy, sharpening skills, and strengthening mental preparation. He firmly distanced himself from any role in supplement administration ahead of the anticipated Crawford showdown.
Eddie Reynoso says, starting now, I'll be working 100% with a team that I can supervise. I've let the boxers who have come to me to train have their own nutrition team. So all of these fighters popping because of their nutrition team. Eddie Reynoso is guilty by association, so you have to clear this shit up. That's what I was saying about Victor Conte when he came with his transparency. I'm doing the same now with Eddie Reynoso. He knows he has to clear that shit. I suggest to Eddie Reynoso, if you're going to be 100% in control of the nutrition team, join SNAC. They got hyper-exfoliated, futuristic, hydraulic tank. Get Nello on SNAC. Hey, brother, Nello on SNAC with a futuristic 1.121 gigawatt. Brother, please.
Although Eddie Reynoso has trained several fighters, 7 by some accounts, who failed PD tests during their careers, he insists this does not implicate Canelo Alvarez. Reynoso emphasizes that each situation must be judged individually, stressing that fighters themselves are ultimately accountable for what they consume. Regarding Canelo, Reynoso maintains he has always followed a clean program, exercising extreme caution with both food and supplements to ensure no controversy arises around his preparation or performance.
Boxing corruption at its absolute finest, but how does it connect to Eddie Reynoso and Canelo team? So Rodriguez Jr. failed his test after the Galal fight. He set the record for the most punches landed in that fight. It even prompted people like Sonny Edwards during the fight to say, this is weird. And yet, he will not be punished. In fact, he'll be kind of rewarded because he's going to get ordered an immediate rematch for the WBC belt. The only thing he's got to do is have a 12-month probation period with random testing. Now, WB are doing this because they have some rule that proven unintentional use. It just so happened he took stuff that was extremely beneficial to his conditioning. Here is the WBC official statement. Feel free to pause this and read it. But what's it got to do with these two fine gentlemen? Well, Rodriguez Jr. is part of Canelo team, and he was rumoured to be managed by Eddie Reynoso. Eddie Reynoso since came out and said, no, I don't manage him, blah blah blah, and he distanced himself. Now why that's important is because Eddie Reynoso has been connected to, I think now, 6 or 7 fighters who have all failed their drugs tests. The rumour around town, this is just a rumor, and definitely not true, is that these two may have smoothed things over with the WBC, maybe used their position of power to get Rodriguez Jr. a bit of a lenient sentence, put it that way. Again, that's not true, I've just completely made that up. But what is unbelievable is a fighter nowadays can actually fail a drugs test and not be punished whatsoever. In fact, can be rewarded. Unbelievable.
Terence Crawford's strength coach has issued a bold prediction ahead of the much-anticipated showdown with Canelo Alvarez. Speaking with conviction, he declared that Crawford would break the beast out of Canelo, emphasizing the team's complete confidence in their preparation. He highlighted Crawford's power, conditioning, and relentless work ethic as the keys to neutralizing Canelo's size and veteran experience. According to the coach, their training camp has been precise and calculated, focusing equally on strength, stamina, and endurance to match Canelo in every aspect. His fiery statement has only intensified the build-up, fueling debates among fans about whether Crawford's power at the higher weight can truly trouble and potentially overwhelm a seasoned champion like Canelo.
Listen, I get a lot of texts asking how I'm doing, how camp is going, so I figured I could just put it up in one post. So I'm in the mountains. This dude about to beat the brakes off Canelo and be the greatest boxer of all time, and I get to play a part in it. All is well, truly well. We good. I'm good. I'm real good.
Some analysts argue that ring size could play a decisive role in the upcoming clash. A standard size ring would give Terence Crawford the space to maximize his movement, speed, and tactical footwork, keeping Canelo Alvarez at a distance. History has shown that Canelo struggles against opponents who use lateral movement and avoid standing directly in front of him, as demonstrated in his loss to Dmitry Bivol. Fighters who force him to chase often break his rhythm and limit his effectiveness. If the ring dimensions favor mobility, Crawford's chances of dictating pace and exchanges rise considerably. But if Canelo closes distance quickly, the contest may shift into a far more physical battle.
If the ring is standard size, I think Bud beats his ass all around the ring for 12 rounds. If Canelo want to come forward and get the whooping, that's what he gonna get. But that's the thing, in that last Skull fight, he didn't want to take the fight to Skull. So if Canelo don't come to fight, I don't want to see Crawford stand in the middle of the ring and take that type of risk. Because Crawford, talk about retirement, he can still go on after this. So he ain't got to take that punishment. He can run it back with him. I don't want Crawford forced into a dog fight with Canelo. No, I think he gonna whoop his ass up.
Veteran sports broadcaster Jim Gray has shared his thoughts on the matchup, calling it a spectacular fight between two champions with remarkable legacies. He praised Canelo Alvarez for his consistent success across multiple weight classes, while also crediting Terence Crawford for his dominance in his own division. Gray noted that both men command immense respect within boxing, and this fight represents more than just titles. It's about cementing legacies, with each fighter aiming to solidify his place in history. The stakes could not be higher.
I think we want to see the best fight the best. And even though there's been a difference in weight divisions here, I think that, people clamor for big names and big fights and guys who are great to fight each other. So being for the institution, and I am for the institution of boxing, I think Canelo has been great for boxing, and I think Terence Crawford has been great for boxing. So how this is going to play out exactly, I don't know. Terence Crawford is older, and Canelo has, twice as many rounds? So, I don't know how that combination ends up. The weight difference. Canelo's going to be a bigger man and a bigger frame, and coming up in that weight. So I think it's just going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be at the Allegiant Stadium where the Raiders play, and it's going to be filled up, and we're going to have a huge, huge night for boxing for the world to see.
On follow-up, do you feel like Terence Crawford has the style to cause Canelo problems?
Does he have the style to what?
Cause Canelo problems.
Terence Crawford's a great fighter. Terence Crawford can give anybody problems. Whether or not he will, I don't have that crystal ball. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see.
Renowned trainer Abel Sanchez has voiced strong doubts about Terence Crawford's chances, emphasizing the significant size gap between the two fighters. Sanchez reminded that weight divisions exist for a reason, stressing that while skill is vital, natural size and strength play an equally crucial role. He argued that Canelo Alvarez's power in his natural division will present a serious challenge for Crawford as he moves up in weight. In Sanchez's view, even a fighter as talented as Crawford will struggle to overcome such physical disadvantages.
As everybody has opinions, and my opinion is that I think Canelo will be too big for him. I think Crawford needed a little more seasoning, a little more seasoning of his weight, that is. He's had a year and hasn't had really any fights against those caliber fighters. The last fight he had a 154-pounder, moved up one division, and had a difficult time in a way that he wasn't dominating as he did in the lower divisions. You talk about a guy in Canelo whose really only bad outing was in a Bivol fight. And Bivol, when I first talked about that fight, when they asked me, Bivol is a Gennady Golovkin, just 15 pounds heavier. Same skills, maybe not the punching power, but very skilled. So anybody below 75, Canelo is dominated easily. After the 5th or 6th round, it seems to be sparring sessions for him. So I think that he does very well, and I think he wears Crawford out and wins a going-away decision. Crawford is an all-time great, obviously, but there's weight divisions.
Definitely as well. Abel, I'll leave it there, but I'll leave you with the final words. Any final words for the fans? Waiting to see you in the corner on Saturday night, my friend.
I'm very happy to be back. I retired for 3 years.
Legendary ring announcer Jimmy Lennon Jr. shared his perspective, noting that in matchups like this, the naturally bigger fighter often hold the advantage, giving Canelo Alvarez the apparent edge. However, he also pointed out that Canelo has shown moments of vulnerability in recent performances, which could create an opening for Terence Crawford. Lennon's balanced view suggests that while size is a key factor, recent form and strategy could ultimately determine the outcome.
In September, how do you see that fight playing out? Who are you leaning towards? Who wins that fight?
Yeah, I tell you, I tend to always think the naturally bigger fighter is going to have an advantage. I'm just, with the Crawford moving up, he was 135-pound champion. He got 40, fantastic champion. 47 then, and then 54. 68 too much, that's really a big jump. But I tell you, a lot of people I respect you say, no, he's going to be favored on that.
Wow.
So I don't know what to say, but Canelo's a great fighter and a smart fighter, and two fighters in the pound for pound best. Getting it on, that's nice for boxing.
And if Crawford is successful, where would you place him in the all-time greats? Does he belong in the top 10, or you've seen so many fighters come across?
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one to say. But certainly he should be considered. He should be in that discussion. And people could argue that either way for a while. But if he doesn't, you always wonder. Well, people say that Canelo was going down, and that there might be an excuse for that. So, we'll see. But it'd be quite a feat if he does beat Canelo. That'd be amazing.
Shakur Stevenson, the undefeated and highly skilled champion, has voiced strong confidence in Terence Crawford's abilities ahead of a potential clash with Canelo Alvarez. Stevenson hailed Crawford as the greatest in his weight class, insisting his elite skills are more than enough to handle a bigger, stronger opponent. His endorsement carries significant weight, given his own proven talent and credibility in the sport. Stevenson's comments reflect the deep respect Crawford commands among fellow elite fighters and reinforce a belief that size alone won't determine the outcome. Many within the boxing community share this sentiment, viewing Crawford as a legitimate threat and making this matchup one of boxing's most intriguing and highly anticipated.
First heard about this idea when you first heard about it. What did you think of this idea? Bud going up to 68 to fight Canelo.
I ain't gonna lie, I've been putting it out since I want to say before Sean Porter. Like back then, if you go watch, it's an interview out there. I had said I think that Terence Crawford would beat Canelo Alvarez right after he fought Sean Porter. So the idea, I've been thinking about it. I've been saying it before Bud even was saying it.
Why were you saying it then? Like that was what, a few years ago? It was 160 or 168 at that point. But why did you believe then that was the right fight?
Because I just knew, like, as far as in that weight class, Terence Crawford is like the greatest. So I just feel as though with Canelo's style and like the style of boxing that he got, I think and this is before Bivol did it, but I thought like Terence Crawford was the only guy who I felt as though could have beat Canelo. with his style.
It's so. Tell me if you think I'm wrong. Like, I might have been more confident after the Spence fight, when he threw a lot of right hands in that fight, was aggressive. Against Madrimov, he didn't throw a lot of right hands in that fight. And I've been saying for years that the only way to beat Canelo Alvarez is to throw right hands. Gennady Golovkin did it, almost beat him. Should have beat him the first time around. Dimitri Bivol did it in their fight. Other guys tend to try to jab him. I don't think you can win fights.
I was about to say, I disagree with you.
That's not surprising, though.
Former world champion Sean Porter has provided an in-depth assessment of Terence Crawford's physical transformation ahead of his highly anticipated clash with Canelo Alvarez. After seeing Crawford in person, Porter observed that his legs looked particularly strong, thick, and well-balanced, evidence of targeted lower body training. He noted that Crawford's added weight was evenly distributed, with no disproportion between his upper and lower body, reflecting disciplined conditioning and nutrition. Porter further highlighted that despite the extra mass, Crawford's speed, agility, and fluidity remain intact, an impressive achievement when moving up in weight. In his view, maintaining quickness while gaining strength could prove decisive, especially if Crawford uses his mobility to neutralize Canelo's natural size and punching power. Porter's detailed observations lend weight to the notion that Crawford's camp has executed a calculated and disciplined preparation plan, designed to ensure peak performance and maximize his chances in what is expected to be a historic matchup.
You guys, one reason you give Crawford a good chance at winning this fight is talking about Canelo has to have his feet set to deliver his power shots. Crawford making him pick his feet up. At 38 years old, putting on 14 pounds to go from 54 to 68, 38 years old, do you think his legs will be able to have the advantage that people that are picking him and thinking he could win this fight, will they have the advantage that they believe he will have at 38, putting on 14 pounds to those legs?
I looked at my business partner Malcolm while we were there. I said, "Yo, look at his legs." He said, "Yeah." He said, "Yeah." I said, "They're thick. They're in shape. They look very strong." If anybody out there that want to act funny about what I just said, that's my job as a former athlete, as an analyst. I have to analyze everything, right? So I have to analyze how's his weight now distributed across your body.
His body, right?
Is it distributed a little too much right here in the midsection? Are the legs too thick? And now I'm not seeing the muscle pop and things of that nature. The dude is doing all of the right things. They have something called the incline in Colorado Springs. So just in case you don't know, Colorado Springs is about 6,000, a little bit more than 6,000 feet in the air, right? So it's above the altitude. I don't know where Vegas is. Vegas is around 1,000, I believe.
A growing narrative among boxing fans suggests that Terence Crawford will dominate Canelo Alvarez, with some not even viewing it as a 50-50 fight. This perception has sparked what many consider outright disrespect toward Canelo's accomplishments. Supporters point out that he remains a premier Mexican fighter of his generation, a multi-division world champion who has consistently faced some of the sport's biggest names. While Crawford is undoubtedly a rare talent, dismissing Canelo entirely ignores his proven record against elite opposition. As a result, this fight is about more than titles. It's about reaffirming respect and legacy within the boxing world.
So look, I'm going to get my prediction. I don't want this video to be long. Typically my videos are like 20, 25 minutes long. I can keep on. I'm going to keep it real. I think y'all are out of your fucking mind. Y'all are out of your fucking mind. Look, if you want to say, I think Bud Crawford has an opportunity to win this fight, don't count him out. I don't disagree with him at all. I will say, don't never count Bud. I will say that. Never count Bud. If y'all say this is a 50-50 fight, I'm not mad at that at all. Yeah. You think it's a 50-50 fight? Y'all, people are saying it's not even going to be a 50-50 fight. That Canelo was going to smoke. And I think y'all are out of your fucking mind. Canelo needs to walk after Roy Jones. You must have forgotten. Yo, this is arguably not only the greatest Mexican fighter of all time, but this is
arguably one of the greatest fighters ever. And y'all are acting like Canelo is some kind of fucking pushover. Like he's some kind of stepping stone. I've never seen nothing like it. I have never seen a boxer so confident get shitted on in every fucking prediction video I've seen. It's mad. My prediction right now, Canelo wins this fight. I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about. Y'all got shit fucked up. y'all, bro, Canelo wins this fight.
That's all for today's video. Stay tuned.